Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. I am Tabitha with Moonlight Custom Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do a hand-painted leopard print glitter swirl tumbler. So go ahead, stay tuned, watch the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's go ahead, create some magic, and get crafty.
Hey y'all, what I have here is a 20-ounce skinny from Maker Flow Craft. I did sand it down with 80 grit sandpaper and spray painted it with Rust-Oleum flat white. We are starting out by coating our tumbler with a nice coat of Mod Podge in preparation for our glitter. So I'm just putting the Mod Podge here in this little container. I am taking this old makeup brush that I use for crafting now. And I'm just putting a nice coat of Mod Podge all over the tumbler, making sure that it's a nice even coat and I don't glob it anywhere. I also want to apologize. I am sick as I'm doing my voiceover, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that is why. Now that we have our Mod Podge on there, we're going to go in with optics. Now, this glitter is a UV glitter. So it's going to go in there white, and I'm going to use the optics, and I'm going to start in the middle and move it up towards the top in a slanting motion, and then I'm going to move it towards the bottom in a slanting motion. This is going to be like my main focus for my glitter swirl, which is why I'm starting in the middle. Now, this glitter, it shifts from white, and when you go out in the sun, it turns purple. Absolutely gorgeous in the sun, let me just tell you, and I will have a clip of that later on. Now we can go ahead and go in with our second color, which is a light purple. This is Sugar Plum. So gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. I love all of these colors here. And I'm starting up a little high, and then I do go down a little bit, like with my hand motions. The higher you get, the more of a ombre effect that you will get. So you do want to make sure that those colors mix very well. Now, this is my own little mixture. I mixed Sugar Plum together and Trixie Dust, and I made this in-between color that I can use in between the Sugar Plum and the Trixie Dust to get a really nice transition. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Trixie Dust. This is the darkest color that we will be using on this tumbler, on this glitter swirl tumbler. Now I know this tumbler looks crazy right now, but we do go back through and blend a little bit more. This is what the tumbler looks like after we got all of our blending done. I also added some Interstellar on there in between the Sugar Plum and the optics. Now I am so upset because apparently I wasn't recording as I was doing the blending. I am so sorry. So now we're going to go in and hand paint our leopard spots. I'm going to use Carbon as the black, and I'm going to use Desert Glow as the gold in the middle. I have some Cleopatra here, mica powders, that is in the little cup, the little container there. I did not have a gold paint, so I wanted to make my own. I am just using some Mod Podge, and then I'm going to add in some of that Cleopatra and make my own little mixture. I'm also going to add in some Mod Podge and some black acrylic paint, and that's going to be the adhesive for my black spots where the carbon's going to go. Now you could just use acrylic paint, that's fine. I don't really trust it, so that's why I mix it with the Mod Podge. So after you get your black acrylic paint in there, you are just going to mix it up. It is going to look a little gray because you're mixing white and black, but it's going to dry clear. The Mod Podge is going to dry clear, and then it will be just black. So we're not going to use the black right now. So after I get that mixed up, I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to start off with my Cleopatra here. So I'm going to take this Cleopatra mica powder and I'm going to add some Mod Podge in there. And this is what I'm going to use to make middle of my leopard spots. So you're just going to take a popsicle stick and you're going to stir it around until you get everything mixed very, very well. Now that you have everything mixed, you want to take a small paintbrush and you're just going to dip it in that mixture that you have. And you're just going to make almond shaped spots or football shaped. I usually go for like almond, and you're going to space these out wherever you feel like you need to I'm only going to put them focused on the Trixie dust. That way I don't have them everywhere and they're all going in uniform on that one glitter swirl. Now you're going to do a few here because Mod Podge does dry really fast. So you're going to do a few and then you're going to go ahead. You're going to go in with your glitter. I'm using Desert Glow. You're going to go in with your glitter and you're going to sprinkle that on those spots. And then you're going to tap off the excess. And that is what you have here. And you're going to continue doing this all the way up the darkest part of the tumbler. Now that you're finished applying your spots, you're going to want to let this dry before you go in with your black. You're going to set this aside, let it dry fully, and then the next step is we're going to go straight into our carbon spots on the sides. All right, y'all, now that this gold is fully dried, this is what it's going to look like. We are ready to go in with our little mixture that we made earlier. I have this little paintbrush here. Now this is just black acrylic paint and some Mod Podge mixed together. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a little bit on your paintbrush and you're going to go on each side of the gold here, making sure that you're not globbing it on. So I'm just using like a little patting motion here. And I'm going to put that on each side of the gold. And I'm not going to make it perfect. I'm going to make it a little jagged because these spots are not perfect. Now, sometimes I like to put it on the top and the bottom here, or I'll just put it on each side. Totally up to you. However you feel like you want to make your spots. Now, just like the gold, I'm going to go through. I'm going to do a few of them since the Mod Podge dries really fast. I'm going to go through. I'm going to do a few of them, and then I'm going to take this carbon, and I'm going to pour the carbon on top of where I just applied this paint mixture. Carbon is by far my favorite black. It sparkles so much underneath epoxy. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And that's what your spots are going to look like. Now you're just going to continue doing this all the way up the cup. Now I wanted to show you one up close. As you can see, I'm just doing a dabbing motion around that gold right there. And then I'm going to take my glitter and I'm going to pour it over those spots and smack off the excess. And that's our leopard spot. So gorgeous. I love it. I'm in love with this cup already. Now, this cup is for Courtney from Courtney's Customs. She sent me a photo of like an inspiration photo, but instead of the colors on the cup, she said, I want different shades of purple. And that was it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to put some black dots in between these leopard spots because I felt like it needed just a little bit more. So I'm just going in and putting some dots here and there. And then I'm going to take that carbon and I'm going to put it over as well. And I feel like the dots really just pulled everything together within this space. And that's what the tumbler is going to look like. Now what you want to do here is you want to set this aside and let this fully dry before we go in with a coat of epoxy. Now that this tumbler is fully dried, I'm going to go in with 20 milliliters of epoxy. This is going to be our first coat of epoxy here. And I'm just making sure that I get a nice even layer and that I get it all over the tumbler. Now I'm going to go in with my heat gun, or you can go in with a torch, whatever you'd like to use, and to pop any bubbles that may be lingering. And I will be back to show you the next step. All right, I did end up putting 2 coats of epoxy on here, and now it is nice and smooth and ready for our decal. The vinyl that I'm using is from Courtney's Customs. I'm using a black offset with the purple vinyl. Pretty sure it's like a chrome or a metallic purple, but I definitely wanted to give her purple. I absolutely love her vinyl. Anytime that I can purchase some of her vinyl, I do it. So now we're ready to put the vinyl on the cup, and I'd like most of it to sit on that white. So I'm just going to eyeball it and center it, and then I'm going to roll out the edges to make sure everything is adhered to the surface. I also like to take my finger and scrape along the surface just to make sure that everything is sticking. And that's what we have here. This tumbler is gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with it. I really hope Courtney loves it as much as I do. Now we can go into our second to last layer of epoxy. I'm going to go in with 15 to 20 milliliters here, making sure that I get a nice even layer and I get it all over the cup. And then after you put the epoxy on the tumbler, you want to go in with your heat gun and make sure that you pop any bubbles that may be there. Now, after this spins and cures for 12 hours, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a second coat of epoxy. Now, our next clip, I'm actually going to show you what this tumbler looks like outside. It is so beautiful. All right, I'm bringing y'all outside because I want you to see this UV glitter. Now, that was a white strip, and as you can see in the sun outside, actually this was even a cloudy day, so there wasn't even any sun shining. But outside, you can see it. It is turning purple. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. I know what's on my list next from the glitter grind. I definitely have to get my hands on all these UV glitters. All right, y'all. Now that's our tutorial on this beautiful tumbler. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and this tutorial inspired you to make something similar to this tumbler or recreate the same tumbler. As always, all the products that I use will be in the description box below, as well as all of my links. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye.